Okay, let's just dive right into this complete blueprint for setting up a thriving home aquarium for the absolutely striking Rummy Nose Tetra. In this explainer, we're literally building their world from the glass inward today. So if you've been wanting one of the most attractive, mesmerizing, shoaling fish in the entire freshwater hobby, you're definitely in the right place. These torpedo-shaped fish are famous for those deep red heads and those striking black and white zebra-striped tails. But, they do demand a very specific level of care to truly thrive, and that's exactly what we're going to break down for you.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll cover 1. Size, lifespan, and tank. 2. Water parameters and filtration. 3. Aquascaping and diet requirements. 4. Temperament and tank mates. 5. Breeding basics and health. And finally, 6. Buying tips and mistakes.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, size, lifespan, and tank.
So the magic number here is 20. 20 gallons is the absolute minimum tank size you're going to need. Now you might be thinking, well, they're pretty small fish. Why do I need 20 gallons? Well, despite their small footprint, Rummy Nose Tetras are highly active shoaling fish. They require plenty of open, totally unobstructed swimming space just to execute their impressive synchronized schooling displays. Cramping them into anything smaller than 20 gallons, it severely limits their natural behavior and really drives up their stress levels. Now, while they max out at just about 2 to 2.5 inches in length, they are a real investment in your tank's ecosystem. I mean, they can live a solid 6 to 8 years if you give them a healthy environment. To make sure you don't accidentally overstock that 20-gallon setup, you'll want to stick to a hard and fast stocking rule, which is 1 fish per 2 gallons of water. This gives them the breathing room they need, and crucially, it helps keep your water chemistry stable. Moving right along to section 2, water parameters and filtration.
You might actually want to grab a quick screenshot of these exact parameters because maintaining this warm, slightly acidic environment is absolutely vital. You see, Rummy Nose Tetras natively originate from the Amazon River in South America. So to keep them healthy, your heater needs to maintain a tropical 75 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Your pH needs to stay strictly between 6.2 and 7.0, and you're aiming for a water hardness of 2 to 10 kh. They really do not handle sudden changes well, so stability here is absolutely your best friend.
Now, what's pretty cool about setting this up is that you actually don't need a separate air or water pump. The outflow from a good filter provides all the necessary water movement they crave. However, an external filter is highly advisable. Why is that? Well, Rummy Nose Tetras are notoriously sensitive to ammonia and nitrates, and honestly, external filters are just far more robust at keeping those pollutants at absolute zero.
Which brings us to section 3, aquascaping and diet requirements.
So, how do we make them feel at home? You really want to mimic their natural Amazonian riverbed, and that means starting with a fine-grained sand or gravel substrate right at the bottom. Next up, you absolutely must include mid-level plants. These are crucial because they provide necessary shelter. If your tetras ever get stressed out by standard aquarium lighting or even just sudden movements outside the glass, they're going to immediately dart into those plants to hide. Just be sure to place the plants around the perimeter so you leave plenty of that open central swimming space we talked about. When it comes to mealtime, Rummy Nose Tetras are omnivores, meaning they eat both plant and animal matter. Make high-quality flakes or pellets your daily staple and feed them twice a day. The golden rule here is to provide only what they can entirely consume in exactly 2 minutes. Promptly net out any excess food. Seriously, leaving it in there to decay will totally ruin that pristine water quality we just locked in. And to keep them really robust, supplement their diet once or twice a week with protein-rich treats like live or frozen bloodworms, daphnia, or even finely chopped green veggies. All right, section 4, temperament and tank mates. So, who makes a good neighbor? Well, you can successfully pair them with a really great array of small, peaceful species. Fish like danios, Coriodoris catfish, mollies, hatchetfish, and dwarf gourami, they make fantastic neighbors. Snails and shrimp are perfectly fine too. However, you must completely avoid large, messy, or boisterous fish. Basically, if a fish has a mouth big enough to fit a Rummy Nose Tetra inside, your tetra is going to become a snack. And even if they aren't eaten, just sharing a tank with aggressive fish, like a lot of large cichlids, is going to cause them immense, constant stress. 6. I cannot emphasize this enough. This number is completely non-negotiable. 6 is the absolute minimum number of Rummy Nose Tetras you must keep together in a shoal. They're hardwired to live in large groups. If you try to keep them alone, or even in just a pair, they'll become heavily stressed, totally isolated, and their health will rapidly decline. Plus, think of it this way.
The larger the shoal, the tighter their formation is, and the more spectacular their visual display becomes for you.
Let's dive into Section 5, Breeding Basics and Health. So how do you reliably tell the males from the females? Honestly, it's a bit of a trick question because it's incredibly difficult to sex them just by eye. Some eagle-eyed keepers suggest females have slightly larger, rounder bodies, but it's largely just guesswork. If you actually plan on breeding them, you're going to want to rely on a specialist breeder to secure a guaranteed mix of males and females. And to trigger that spawning, you'll need pristine, strongly filtered water warmed up to exactly 84 degrees Fahrenheit. The actual breeding process is super fascinating. It happens right around your aquarium plants. The female will literally swim over to a leaf, roll over, and allow the male to fertilize the eggs right there on the spot. She releases a few large eggs at a time. Now, once this happens, you have to act fast. You must remove the adult fish from the breeding tank immediately. Otherwise, they'll just eat their own eggs. Following this timeline, those eggs will hatch in just 24 hours. And by day 6, the tiny fry will be swimming freely and ready for their specialized fry food. Now for health, these fish literally come with a built-in alarm system, which is amazing. If their signature bright red nose ever turns pale or washed out, consider it a blaring siren that your water quality has dropped. Poor water quickly leads to awful diseases like dropsy, which causes their body to literally swell with fluid, or itch, which looks like tiny white grains of salt stuck all over their body. If you ever see a pale nose, immediately check your water parameters and perform a thorough tank cleaning. Don't wait.
And finally, Section 6, Buying Tips and Mistakes.
Since you're going to need a shoal of at least 6 anyway, you should always buy your Rummy Nose Tetras in bulk. Individually, they usually run under $4, but aquarium stores will often give you a nice discount for a group. And just to reiterate, the single biggest beginner mistake is letting water conditions slip. They are entirely unforgiving of beginner mistakes when it comes to ammonia spikes. Poor water will deteriorate their health, stunt their lifespan, and completely dull out those gorgeous colors you bought them for in the first place. So if you're willing to put in the effort to keep that water pristine, prioritize a high-quality varied diet, and give them plenty of horizontal room to swim, you are going to be deeply rewarded. A healthy, stress-free shoal of Rummy Nose Tetras moving in perfect unison provides one of the most mesmerizing active displays in the entire freshwater hobby. So are you ready to take on the challenge and bring the vibrant colors of the Amazon right into your living room?